Well, hello everybody. It's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the middle of a 3-day weekend. I hope y'all are having a good time, and actually I hope you got a 3-day weekend and don't have to go to work on Monday. Let me do a quick refresh off to the left here just to be sure that we are actually transmitilating. I see my arms moving and I see people coming on. Well, hello Lorraine. Hello. Hello everybody. Hey Marva and Rocky, appreciate you coming. Rocky, I do not have that stamp set. If you know, you know. And I talked with a couple of my team. I will double check, but it's a little bit older, so fingers crossed. Alrighty. I have no idea what I was fixing to say. Oh, yes, this is day 17 of the 17 Saturdays until Christmas video series. So hopefully between now and Christmas, you will find one or two or, I don't know, 15 or 16 cards that you think you would like to make. I promise I will make some that are quick and easy. That's going to be hard for me, so I'm not sure how many of those there will be. And then there are going to be some that are going to be more complicated, and it'll be those one-offs that you want to hand to somebody special on Christmas morning. So I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you'll join me all along. Thank you, Jean. Welcome from Maryland. Alrighty, so this is our card for today. It is a case, really. I did do a little bit of changing, but it's a case from one of the cute samples in the catalog that uses the Festive and Fun stamp set. Now, this is a standalone set, and it's just darling, okay? It's certainly not a religious card. This is pure fun, and I think you'll like it. There is some fussy cussing going on here today. Fussy cussing, that's what we call it on my team. Somebody said that once, and it kind of stuck because, you know, fussy cutting, you either love it or you hate it. I happen to really like it. If you hate it, you might want to just, you know, sit back and twiddle your thumbs because there is some on this card. However, I have also used the Tiny Christmas Trees die. This is a single die. It's a standalone. So you may hear the term a la carte dies, and that means they aren't associated with a stamp set or a bundle or a suite or any of those things. It's just a real cool die to have on hand. That is the same kind of die set that Deckled Circles is. So between these two, you're going to get a lot of fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Everything will be, and the Christmas Tidings embossing folder. We'll see that in just a second. Everything will be on my blog tomorrow, so you don't even have to take notes or nothing. All right, now there's a new set of foil in the mini catalog that is coming out like, gosh, next Thursday. Can you believe it's already here? I'm so excited for you to see it. This paper is cleverly called Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green foil paper. And guess what's in it? Yes, that's right. Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green foil paper. Get 2 sheets of each, 12 by 12. So I'm using the Granny Apple Green on this one, and I am pairing it with Shaded Spruce, which if you haven't found it out yet or seen it, Shaded Spruce and Granny Apple Green are a very, very nice combination. So using the Tiny Trees dies, I took a piece of cardstock. This is Shaded Spruce, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4, so a normal matte size, and I cut the dies out. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I kept all the little trees. I really don't know. I think they'd be fun little shaker things. If you can think of a good thing to do with this, let me know, because I'm keeping them, because that's how I roll. So I have a piece of the Granny Apple Green foil and a piece of Shaded Spruce cardstock that has had the Tiny Trees dies applied to it. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals around, obviously not where there's a hole, because that would be silly. That is a dead soldier there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this over the Granny Apple Green panel. Now, normally I don't build cards on the card base itself. I tend to build the card front separate from the inner liner, separate from the card base, and then put it all together at the end. But with this card, I am going to break my own little rule. Hello, Vicky. How are you? So I have a Shaded Spruce card base, and I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue I think a shaker would be great with those dies. And add maybe some of the sequins, the holly and gem sequins that's also in this new catalog. That would be fun. I'm going to use some liquid glue and I'm going to adhere it right to the center of the front of my card base. All right. And then before I pop that die cut piece on, I'm going to just make sure I'm putting it on right side up. You know what I'm saying? Because an upside down trees would be weird. Did you like my sneak peek with everything sideways? Yeah, that had you all confused and stuff, right? Oh, hey, Mallory, I'm so glad you have this set. I hope you'll do something fun with it. It's kind of hard not to. You know me, I love giraffes. So this was on my list right from the jump. Hey, Carol, appreciate you coming. All right, so I don't know why I'm holding it off camera like that. I don't know. I have no idea at all. I just pulled off all of the covers of my dimensionals, and then I'm going to adhere this over the top of that panel. Kind of center it up. Centering is good. So there you have, instantaneously, you have a really cool card front. And in truth, you could just stamp a sentiment and put it on here with a bow and maybe a couple of gems and be done. Done. Christmas done. That is not what I'm doing today. What I did is I started with, I have a deckled circle. Now these deckled circles, you get a ton of them. There are 14 nested circles. All right. So this one is the one, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth from the smallest, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, eighth from the biggest, whichever way you want to go. It's that one. And I just cut it from a piece of basic white, and then I embossed it in the uber cool Christmas Tidings embossing folder. Can you see that cool embossing? How cool is that? I love it. I love it. And it's interesting because I very cleverly made it so that it says Christ Tree Tiding right there. Trees like that. Okay. Before we get that put down, I'm going to take a double length of Parakeet Party Baker's Twine, and I'm going to tie a big bow. Now this is harder than you would think because you tend to want to conserve twine. And so I always make it too small to have the size loops that I want. I mean, look at the size of these loops. They almost span the whole diagonal of my card. Okay? So you'll have to overcome your propensity for making small bows. You got to make a big bow. Big old bow. See, I'm going to do it again. I did it again. I did it again and again, and I can probably do it even another time. This one will be better maybe. There we go. We're getting there. We'll get it. All right. Let's see if that's going to be big enough. Really, you just want it so that it will stick out the sides, and I think that will do the job. So we're going to cut that. Hey, Sharon, appreciate you coming. And I'm going to adhere that with a little bit of liquid glue, and then I'm going to set everything aside and start making my giraffe, because the giraffe is where we're going to spend a little time because there's a lot of coloring with him. Okay, so we're setting that aside, and let's stamp us a giraffagus, shall we? And now I'm stamping him in crumb cake. I know, Renee, this is my first go with this stamp, or with this die as well. And I came very close to borking it because I had the foil all pulled out and I was ready to die cut it. No, you die cut the shaded spruce and then you put that over the foil. Just telling you, don't do like I almost did. All right. Now, just so you know, you don't have to turn your stamp sideways, but I have found that with this size block, and I do have some arthritis in my hand, and so I can use both hands easier if I turn it sideways like that to do the stamp. And that's in crumb cake. All right, now you're going to be interested by all of these colors. Hey, Jane. Hi, Daryl. You're going to be interested by all the colors. There's a challenge out there. It's the Global Design Project Challenge this week, and it's to use the colors of the rainbow. So I want you to be proud of me. I'm only 6'29" and change, and I finally learned Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So I thought it would be fun to try to make a Christmas card using those colors, which is why it's quite as colorful as it is. So let's color some stuff. Let's do. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first? Let me do this. I've got some new adhesive back glitter sequins. And for my indigo, or for my violet, my V, I'm going to take my dark Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Right marker. Nope, blend, Stampin' Blend. And I'm just going to color a few of these smalls and a few of these large. And those are going to become ornaments. And I may need another one. 1, 2, 3. No, I think that'll be plenty. Okay, so this can kind of dry. It didn't really need that, but I was excited to show it to you, and I was afraid I would forget. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take my Lemon Lolly blends, and we're going to color Mr. Giraffagus in Lemon Lolly. So I'm coloring really everywhere except his spots. The truth is, you could probably color his spots if you wanted to, because we're going to come back with pumpkin pie. He's going to have orange spots, and it would go just fine if you accidentally get a little bit of Lemon Lolly in there, okay? So don't fret over this. It's not quite that critical. If you accidentally get in a spot, just drive on with it, because it's okay. It's okay. All right. And then I'm going to use my chomping shrimp. Well, I hope it was good shrimp. I hope it was. I'm going to take the dark Lemon Lolly and just add a little bit of shading. Not a lot. I mean, y'all, this is a cartoon giraffe. So it's not like I'm going to give him muscles or anything like that. I'm just going to add a little bit of dark here. He is a cartoon. He doesn't really move. He never has been to the wild waterhole in the savannah, where he has to watch out for predators. No, he hasn't. All right, then my light pumpkin pie for his spots. And you know what? I think you could make a pink and blue giraffe if you wanted, because again, cartoon, fun. It would be fun. I got a little carried away right there, so I'm gonna throttle back just a little bit, pull it out of Afterburner. There we go. Okay. Now, his little hat. Lynn, they are fun. His little hat is Poppy Parade, my favoriteest Christmas. Well, not my favoriteest. I really like Cherry Cobbler too, but for fun cheery cards, Poppy Parade is my favorite. I'm going to do his hat in that, and then I'm going to do the bow on the tree container here. Okay. Like that. And then let's see, I'm going to take, I used a lot of markers. I'm going to use my Crushed Curry Stampin' Right marker to color the star. Now, let me just tell you a little tip. I thought it would be really fun to use the metallic gold enamel effects on the star. And it didn't work at all. Nope, didn't work at all. It just got kind of messy. So I saw to myself, I said, oh, you know, that's not going to work. And so well before it dried, I went, and I rubbed it off of there. And I kind of wiped it. And I thought, well, that's good. And then I colored it with my Crushed Curry. Nope, that did not work. Don't even try it. Just trust me on this. Just trust me. It doesn't work. Now, this is going to get fussy cut, but just for me, what I would do is I would color it first, so that way if you bork the coloring, and it is possible to bork coloring, it is, you haven't already spent the time to fussy cut it, and then you have to stamp it, color it, fussy cut it again. Okay, so I would color it first, get it all like you want it, and then do your fussy cutting. Now this is my light Granny Apple Green blend, and I'm just kind of doing all the way around here, everything, coloring a whole tree, not the ornaments. I'm trying to not color the ornaments because I want them to be actually different colors. Actually, it probably won't matter because I'm going to cover them with those sequins. The sequins were a late add. I thought about it after the fact, so I'd already colored them, which made my brain think that. A star embellishment would be an easy fix, and I actually did cut out the star from the Merriest Trees, but it seemed a little bit over the top, so I didn't use it. But it would have been a good fix if I'd had a different star embellishment. Okay, now I'm going to take my light shaded spruce, And I'm just going to add a little bit of shaded spruce on the bottoms of the branches and these little guys right here, like so. Like that. Okay. Okay. And there's that. I've got my crumb cake blend. I'm going to color his little hands and feet and the tree trunk. For my blue, I used Light Azure Afternoon, and I am coloring this little box that has the ornaments in it. I'm not coloring those holly leaves because I'm going to color them shaded spruce. I have reached the point now where, yes, I have to back up to bring that into focus. I'm going to color the handle like so. And you'll notice I'm using the tip of the brush side, all right? There is a fine tip, but with the new design, sometimes it's not as fine as the tip of the brush point is. So do whichever is the most comfortable for you, okay? Use whichever side is the most comfortable that you can control the best. For me, I am finding these days that for these little tiny things that I'm coloring like this, I'm gonna use the brush side. That was the light shaded spruce for the holly, and I'm back to my Poppy Parade for those little berries right there. Now I'm going to take my, let's see, slightly flooded Yuma. Oh, hey, Melanie, I hope everything's okay. I'm thinking Yuma doesn't really have a whole lot of flood management in place, infrastructure. I'm just guessing. Having been there, I don't recall seeing any flood control devices. So I hope you guys are okay. Okay, so this is my light Misty Moonlight. This is my, let's see, what is this? Oh, this is my indigo. I decided this was indigo. And I'm coloring the little pot that the tree is in. Now, I think before I go too much further, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and let me color a couple more things. I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss to color the little stripe right here. And I think we can leave that for now because I'm going to cover the rest of them with some of those sequins when we get done. Okay, now we're going to fussy cuss. So just hang tight. Here we go, here we go. All right, so I'm going to first cut it out. And oh, I like to start with the easy part. So that nice straight cut right there is easy. And I'm doing what I would call a die cut fussy cut, which means I'm leaving a little border around the whole image. As we always preach, or I always preach, you want to push your cardstock right up into the fulcrum of your scissors. And if you're right-handed like me, I cannot tell you how to do this left-handed. I am so sorry. I could as easily tell you how to do it speaking in Swahili or French or German. I can't. So if you're right-handed, you're going to have the scissors in your right hand. You're going to be holding your cardstock with the left hand, and that's how you're going to turn your cardstock, okay? You're not going to turn the scissors. You're going to turn the cardstock like that. See how I did that? And then here we come with a big corner and turning just like that. And just keep that up all the way around, getting as close to the same border around your tree as you can. And nobody's going to look at this. One of the advantages of putting it against a white background is the vagaries of your fussy cutting kind of will disappear a little bit. Okay, but you can see I'm turning with my left hand like that. And this is the harder side, so I'm getting it out of the way because it's got the tree in it. And by doing a white element behind it, I don't need to worry about this dead space in there between the tree and the giraffe. I can just leave it because it's going to disappear. Even though the other piece is embossed, it disappears. I promise. Okay, when we get here, it's a big turn, big turn, big turn. May come back and clean that up a little bit, but that's okay. And then around his schnoozle, there we go. Getting a little close, doesn't matter. It's all right, it's all good. There we go. And then we're gonna come around his little top knot, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut off right there because it's getting in my way. And I am officially not looking at comments right now. I can practically hear you all going, ooh, fussy cusser of the year. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna come around his ear, and then I'm not gonna even make a huge effort with his mane. I'm just gonna cut right at the edge of his mane, straight down, like that. All right, and then we'll come around his little arm right there. And, okay, now get ready. You're gonna be real impressed because I'm fixing to cut out his tail. I know, you're gonna be impressed. Here we go. And big turn, big turn, big turn, another big turn. I'm gonna go right up inside and then a big turn back. See how I'm making all the movements of the cardstock with my left hand. My scissors really have not moved or changed orientation with relation to me. Okay, I'm moving only the cardstock. And there we go, and we're almost done, and boom! Boom chakalaka, boom chakalaka. Alrighty then. Phew. I'm just telling you, the only thing more terrifying than tying bows in public on camera is a big fussy cut like that. Okay. All right, so now let's put them together. All right, we have our bow, and it has had time to adhere with the liquid glue. I'm gonna take my dimensionals and I'm gonna double stack them. Okay. These are not double stacked, obviously. Hello, nope. I'm just making the base, and then I'm gonna take the lids off of these. It's not as hard as it might seem, Linda. And actually, it's one of those things, it's like driving a stick. The more you do it, the better you get. So take the opportunities. Always decorate your envelope flap. Practice your fussy cutting on your envelope flap. And then you start to get that muscle memory in your hands, and you will be amazed and mystified at how good you become. Okay, so now I have all those lids off. I'm gonna add a second dimensional. This is because I have a thick knot right here, and I want to bump my embossed circle over the top of them so that there's not like a lumpy hump right there. Don't like lumpy humps. Nobody wants a lumpy hump in the middle of their card. No. All right, so everything has two. That's a double stack Stampin' dimensional. So one stacked on top of the other. Oh. Rogue dimensional cover. Rogue dimensional cover. Hey, Melanie. No, this is not a mass producer. Absolutely no, it is not. But you could absolutely do it where you just use this cool card front with the foil and the die cut panel over the top and just a simple sentiment. Use a Poppy Parade sentiment, maybe with some white embossing, and you could get away with that very easily and have a really cute card without all of the extra stuff. Okay, so all of my dimensionals are uncovered, and I'm going to adhere this. I do have words on here. Wait, I do have words on here, so I want them to be upright. And if I've got a gap, I'm just going to put another double stacked dimensional under there so that he has a little bit of support. Hey, Jane. Thank you. Janie. Sorry. Just slide that under there like so. Okay, now the rest of these things, and by the rest of these things, I mean what you've seen so far and what we have left. Did you try the die with gold metallic paper? Which die? Let me make sure I know what we're talking about, Robin. tell me which die. All right, so here we're going to put our Gyraphagus with his liquid glue. Trees cut out. No, I haven't tried that. This is the first time I've used this die. But it might be pretty with the gold behind it instead of the green. I think that would be pretty too. So lots of options with this. So I'm going to set him aside, and then I have somewhere here, maybe not. I really did, I promise. I have a piece of Poppy Parade, but it is gone, so hang on, let me find it. Let me find my piece of Poppy Parade. One moment, please. Be waiting 1 moment, please. All right, here we go. Oh, I very cleverly put it away. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to heat emboss the Happy Christmas Wishes sentiment in white on a piece of Poppy Parade. Yep, if you have gold, do it. The gold will be coming out in a week in the mini catalog. So, no, I didn't mean the gold. I meant the green. Duh, Mary, green. So let me get my spin and my embossing buddy. We'll give him a little rubby rub. And I'm gonna stamp Happy Christmas Wishes on my Poppy Parade panel. Okay. Cover my Versamark before I start playing with the embossing powder. I do try to keep a spare Versamark pad in case I do something dumb. Like, I don't know, blow all over this and blow embossing powder all over my desk and into my Versamark. How do you get embossing buddy off of dark cardstock? With a 2-cent brush from Publix. That's how I do it. Okay, and I use the same brush to clear out embossing powder that has a little extra that I didn't mean to have. Okay, so it's going to get a little bit noisy here for a second. I'm going to use my heat tool to heat emboss this. I promise next week's, the 16th Saturday card will not involve 7 hours of fussy cutting. I promise. It probably won't even involve 3 hours of coloring. Just saying. Okay, so let that cool. Oh, Swiffer cloth. That's a good idea too. And you can see I have a little bit of embossing powder that kind of stuck around right there. It's going to be okay because I'm going to cut it out. But the other tip I would give you is after you use Versamark, try to get it off your stamp relatively soon. It can get kind of sticky gummy. Just saying. All right, once that's cool, I know, more fussy cutting. Stick with me. This one's easy. We're just going to cut each of these words out. Because I think it's fun. This card wants fun stuff. So, for me, fussy cut sentiment words are fun. If you don't think they're fun, just put it on a strip and put it on the card. Don't lose your sentiment once you get it cut. It's not difficult to do. Let's see. There he is. There's Wishes now. Oh, Wishes. Oh, Wishes. Whenever I say Wishes, I think of Mrs. Wiggins. All right, how many of you were parrot heads? That has nothing to do with Mrs. Wiggins, but I don't know, made a little random association right there. All righty, let me see. Where's my card base? Where'd it go? Here it is. All right. Now, you could do this with some dimensionals, but I'm just going to use liquid glue for this. All right, and we're going to put this on kind of at a couple of little jaunty angles. There we go. And I always do that. I really want this more like over here. There we go. And then this last one as well. And then we'll put our little sequins on and our card front will be done. Let's see, we're gonna go that way. I'm gonna go actually a little straighter than that. There we go, like that. Okay, now while those dry, thanks Stephanie. Hey, I'm so sorry, Where this was a bad day then. I mean, I was never a parrot head, but you know, Jimmy Buffett, I grew up with that music like so many of us did, so you know, I get it. All right, we're going to use a combination of the blue. These are the adhesive back glitter sequins. So I'm going to use a couple of blue ones and a couple of the ones that I colored with that Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Right marker. Or nope, Stampin' Blend. I don't know why I keep saying Stampin' Right marker. Well, because I'm a dork, I think. All right, and then we're going to put this one down here. And then I'm going to use another blue one. Whoop, come here now. Come here now. Don't be that way. Don't be that way. Gonna put him right there. All right. So I see I have a couple of spots I need to color. So I'm gonna color this with the light granny apple green. We'll color that like that, like that, like that. And then let's see, how about some red for this little stripe? And maybe a little more Blackberry Bliss. This guy likes the color, I'm just saying. He likes color. Yes, he does. Okay, now, do we see... Oh, there's one more. Let's put a blue one right there. Okay. And there's our card base, y'all. Or a card front. Is he not so cute? You know what, though? I think I need another double stack of dimensionals right there. Did I say I was looking for a stamp set? I'm not real sure who you're asking that. I know, Mallory, a lot of people hate fussy cutting. I happen to like it. And there's sometimes when it's just necessary. I'm just saying. But you could actually use just use a strip. Don't even bother with this, but just use a strip with the with your giraffe guy on it, and then you could add a circle or do whatever so that you didn't have to fussy cut him. All right, so there's our card front. For the inside, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp a sentiment from the set. It says, "May your season be one that's festive and fun." And I'm gonna do it in Poppy Parade. I love a parade. And I have already checked that it is straight if I stamp it straight, so I don't need to do that again. And in the corner, I'm gonna add this little bird. Isn't he so cute? This little bird in his little hat and his little scarf. And you know what? While I have him out, why don't I stamp our envelope? Okay. And we're going to color him. Thanks, Mommy Roo. You could add the little trees around the inside piece. That would be very cute. Absolutely. That is a very, very good idea. Okay, now let's see. Oh, I'm going to color my little bird. This is the Blue Bird of Happiness. So I'm using my light azure afternoon for his body. And again, using the tip of the brush end. And remember, when you're coloring with Stampin' Blends on your envelope, you either want to put a piece of plastic on the inside to protect the back because you can get some bleed through that you didn't want, or just be real light touch with your blend and then it won't go through. Okay? And then I'm going to take that light misty moonlight to color his wing. For a minute I thought that might have been a cape, and then I decided it was a wing. So instead of it being red, it's blue, because it's obviously a wing. Hello, Mary. And then I'll use the daffodil delight, the lemon lolly for his beak. Little beak, a little beak. CM wings. CM wings? M are snakes. All right, and then the Poppy prayed for his little hat and his little scarf. And that little scarf is little tiny, so hold your tongue just right. Be sure to hold your tongue just right. It's a critical piece of any card. And we'll do the envelope too. And obviously we're going to leave the edge of the rim. What is that called? The brim. That doesn't even sound right. That little part of his hat right there, we're going to leave it white. Okay. Stampin' Blends. Oh, Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers. So the ink is alcohol-based, and the Stampin' Write markers are water-based alcohols. Okay? That's the biggest difference, which means that these blend well. So you can actually use the light and the dark and blend together to get some shading that you really have a hard time doing with the Stampin' Write markers. So that's the biggest difference. All right. What the other piece that's interesting is, let me just show you an example. Can I show you an example for a short while? If I took, this is the crumb cake. There's light. There's dark. Those are the blends. And then if I use the Stampin' Write marker, it's another variation of the same color again. So you really have 3 shades of crumb cake when you have the Stampin' Blends. So you can get a lot of variation with just one base color. Okay? Yes, tongue sticking out is very, very important. Okay, so let me go ahead and take that light crumb cake again, and we're just going to add a little bit of ground underneath him. Otherwise, it just looks like he's hovering in midair, and he is not a hummingbird. So that's not a thing. Not going to happen. There we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. So we'll set the envelope aside for a second. And then, yep, you can also just use a water painter as well. So once it's multiple different ways to color with, either a Stampin' Write marker, Stampin' Blends. You can use a water painter. You can use a blender pen. So lots of ways to color. I am going to adhere it to a Granny Apple Green foil mat. And we're going to use some liquid glue. Remember to be careful with foil. It's a little hard to get the glue off if you get it on there. So don't put it down until you got it where you want it. All of that said, I would still use liquid glue versus seal most of the time because that's how I roll. Okay, let that dry a second. And while it's doing that, I'll go ahead and put I pulled out a little piece of rainbow colored paper from the Merry Bold and Bright to put on the envelope flap. One more fussy cut, y'all. This is the last one, I promise. Let me fix this. That one wiggled while I wasn't watching it. It wiggled while I wasn't watching it. Okay. This is a cheerful Christmas card right here. Think of what you could do, how you could use this basic design without fussy cutting. What could you do to use that card front layout with the Tiny Trees dies and whatever color of foil you have, gold, silver, whatever you've got, green. You could even use the Melon Mambo behind there. All right, think about what you could do, all the different things you could use to change up the same basic idea. All right, so now we're going to put this on the inside of our Christmas card base. Next week will be the 16th Saturday before Christmas. Yes, it is going exactly that fast. You're going to wake up and be like, oh my gosh, today I have to go watch Mary make another Christmas card. And then you'll be like, wow, Christmas is practically around the corner. But you will not be caught unawares. Now, because I like them and because they're thin, I'm going to put a couple of these little sequins here. I'm going to put one of the green ones too because he's fun. And a big one. Like that. There you go. And there's our card, y'all, with Festive and Fun and the really cool Tiny Trees dies. I really do love that die, and I think I'm going to use it a lot. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have some ideas in your head for Christmas cards. And I hope I'll see you on Thursday for another YouTube. Probably not a Christmas card. Something different, something fun. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope it's a long one for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.